Welcome to the Vida Spiritual Connection from Vida Spiritual Learning Center, where you are empowered to create the life you desire. Our guiding belief is, by valuing and empowering all, we inspire a joyous and fulfilling life. At Vida, we study and practice the teachings of the science of mind and spirit founded by Dr. Ernest Holmes. Each week, we present an inspiring spiritual message and a guided meditation. Now, here's today's message.
Hello, beloveds, and welcome to another episode of Vida Spiritual Connection. My name is Sunshine Daye, and it is a joy to greet you on this beautiful, amazing day. Imagine for a moment that you have a tiny seed. Well, this tiny seed is full of potential, right? And when you plant that seed, or when you nestle that seed in the soil, within that seed is the essence of life, is the essence of infinite possibility, just waiting for the right conditions to sprout and to grow. And just like a seed, each and every one of us carries that immense potential within us. We are the human seeds, if you will, waiting to blossom and waiting to flourish. Now, what we're waiting for, just like the seed, is the proper conditions. And the first step in nurturing sprouts is to pay attention to the soil. So once that seed begins to have a sprout, what we want to take a look at is the soil, the environment that is there as a foundation as we grow, as the seed grows, as we grow, and taking a look at our soil, our environment, and the environment in which we find ourselves. Now, this includes the people around us, this includes the beliefs that we have, the activities that we engage in, the things that we're used to doing, whether it's routine or something new, how we see life. And to create fertile soil, we gotta cultivate positive and nurturing relationships. We get to seek out wisdom, and we get to embrace that which nourishes our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. So it always brings back to question around our spiritual practices, because our spiritual practices are based in our environment. Is my environment filled with spiritual practices and practices that remind me of the truth of who I am? Or is my environment, aka my soil, a little bit jacked up and having some junk and dirt, not soil, but dirt, and having like cigarette butts and having plastic and all of those things that do not nurture that sprout from growing. Now, Michael Bernard Beckwith once said, "Our outer world is a reflection of our inner world." Our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. So if we desire to grow and to transform, we must first tend to the soil of our inner world. I must look within first. So within, so without. And that involves taking time for self-reflection, for prayer, for meditation, for those spiritual practices that include self-care and developing that deep sense of self-awareness. Are you taking the time to nurture your soil? As we nourish these sprouts, it really begins with the soil. And so when we nourish ourselves from the inside and from within, we're creating that optimal condition to grow and to flourish and to have that be reflected in our outside world. But nurturing sprouts doesn't just stop at the soil. I mean, once the seed has germinated and sprouted, it requires ongoing nourishment. It requires water, right? It requires that that the soil be so rich in nutrients to feed it. And so it is with us that our actions, our thoughts, our intentions, they too become the sustenance and the fuel of our growth. Are we being supported in our growth and unfoldment? And by cultivating a positive mindset, by cultivating a God consciousness, a spirit consciousness, a consciousness of love, a consciousness of embracing gratitude, an attitude of gratitude, a consciousness of engaging in acts of self-care and kindness, we become nurturers of our own potential. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind philosophy, reminds us to change your thinking, change your life, right? And our thoughts are like the nutrients or the fuel or the food, the nourishment that feeds that sprout. When we consciously choose to have empowering thoughts, and when we choose thoughts that are about our health and our wholeness and our richness, our abundance, about our peace, what we're doing is that as we change our mind, that's like changing the soil and getting rid of the pollutants, the cigarette butts, the beer tabs or the soda tabs or the plastics that pollute and don't allow us to grow. By changing our thinking, we change our lives. That's like changing the soil, and we're preparing ourselves for growth, and growth spurts because our soil is now rich with nutrients. It is rich with positivity, with love, with light. And by shifting our mindset in this way, from a limited mindset or a mindset of limitations to one of possibilities, what we're doing is we're opening up and allowing spirit to move in through and as us in ways that we never dreamed possible. In times of prosperity and in times of joy, the concept of nurturing sprouts reminds me and reminds us to celebrate and to cherish these aspects of our lives, the richness of our lives. And just as we tend to and care for a flourishing plant, we must also acknowledge and appreciate the blessings of achievements and celebrate that. We get to appreciate and acknowledge the abundance that surrounds us. It's time for us to cultivate that attitude of gratitude and to share that joy with other people. Like, it's a great day to be alive. I love my life. I'm so happy to be alive. It's important to share a smile and to share the things that you celebrate today. So, quick question for you is, what are you celebrating today? We don't it doesn't have to be a birthday or an anniversary or anything like that. Like, what aspect about you are you celebrating today? The other thing is that feeding the soil and plants during the good times means that we utilize our resources and that we utilize our opportunities wisely. We don't take them for granted. It's investment in our personal growth. It's investment in our health and wholeness. It's investment in our continuing to expand in our knowledge, in our skills, in our talents. And we do this using prayer and meditation. We celebrate that by being grateful, by having this attitude of gratitude, by sharing that, and by nurturing our inner selves. Now, I just gave you a great example about, celebrating and nurturing the sprouts in the good times. And, sometimes it's not always smooth sailing. Like, we encounter challenging moments and hardships in our lives. And in times of struggle, the metaphor of nurturing sprouts becomes even more crucial. Nurturing sprouts means taking care of ourselves and seeking support, and seeking that support when it's needed, not betraying ourselves and, mustering up and going through it by ourselves, but actually asking for support. It's so important to nurture sprouts, especially in that time of new sprouts. Like, that's the time of the most vulnerability. And when we're experiencing stormy seas, it's important to take care of ourselves. It's important to find solace, to find that inner strength, to ask for support, to do things like self-compassion and meditation and prayer, recognizing the one power, one presence, one life, really connecting and knowing our life as the life of spirit, and seeking guidance from that indwelling presence as to the way out, or the way to nurture, and the way to really be caring for oneself. These are the times where we get to dig deep, and we get to be really honest with ourselves and find that inner calm, that inner reserve, that inner peace that's necessary to weather the storms when things emerge that seem to be bigger than we are. And feeding the soil and feeding the plant, which are two separate things, can sometimes seem like a conflict of interest or conflicting priorities, but it means choosing our thoughts. Like, what am I thinking? And choosing my perspectives carefully, and really anchoring into the grandeur of life. It's about finding the lessons and growth opportunities in these hard times, in these times of struggle. And it's also about asking that question of indwelling presence. What is the alternative? What is the way out? Lead me, guide me. What's the silver lining here in this cloud? Something good must come from this. And by feeding our minds the truth, by being in prayer, by being in meditation, what happens is there's a shift that happens, moving away from the negativity towards that truth, towards that resilience, towards our own personal transformation, towards our spiritual evolution. This metaphor of nurturing sprouts and feeding the soil and feeding the plant also reminds me of the power of community, and the power of talking with a practitioner, of talking with a minister, of seeking support. Again, plants thrive in a garden. And when we're together in our garden, our learning garden, our spiritual learning center in that garden, we grow together, and we help each other to flourish and to grow. And we provide the nourishment and the encouragement that we all need to overcome some of the challenging times. So, this is a lot about the cyclical nature of life, and it teaches us that transformation occurs not only in the time of prosperity and abundance and joy, but also it happens in the face of adversity, and even when things are not going the way we want to, when we embrace the good times and when we embrace the not so good times, and we cultivate resilience and we cultivate a spiritual practice. So in the great times we're grateful, and in the not so great times we're resilient, because we know the truth that right where I am, Spirit is. So may your journey be filled with love. May it be filled with laughter. And remember that in a world full of flowers, be the sunflower. Until the next time, know that you are loved. And now, breathe with me and let us enter into a time of meditation.
Welcome to our time of meditation. Let us begin by relaxing and allowing any busyness of the day to gently fall away, bringing our attention to the here and now and on our breathing. Let's take several deep breaths together, breathing in all the way and holding for a moment, and then breathing out completely. Let's do that again. Breathing in, holding for a moment, and releasing. And just continue breathing and let it find its own natural rhythm. And as you continue, begin releasing any tension that you may have been holding, releasing more with each breath out, breathing in and breathing out. And as any remaining tension continues to melt away, let your body feel completely relaxed. And now I invite you into that peaceful, quiet place at the core of your being, where you rest in your oneness with the divine presence. As you continue to focus on your breath, imagine for a moment a brilliant light glowing within you. This light is your inner brilliance, your inherent wisdom and creativity. See this light growing brighter with each breath you take. See it expanding to fill your entire body, illuminating every aspect of your being. As it grows stronger, see it radiating out from you, extending beyond your body and filling the space around you. See it spreading out in all directions, lighting up the room and the world beyond. And as you do, consider the spiritual qualities that this inner brilliance brings for you. Perhaps it's creativity, intelligence, wisdom, or intuition. Whatever is true for you, allow yourself to bask in the glow of these qualities, feeling them expanding within you. So for the next few minutes, continue to focus on your breathing and consider these affirmations. I am filled with inner brilliance. I trust in my own creativity and intuition. I am powerful and radiant, shining my light out into the world. I am filled with inner brilliance. I trust in my own creativity and intuition. I am a powerful and radiant being. I shine my light out into the world. I am filled with inner brilliance. Let's take a few more deep breaths, feeling the light and the affirmations sinking into your body and mind. And as our guided meditation draws to a close, take a moment to appreciate the inner brilliance that you've cultivated within yourself. Know that you can carry this sense of radiance and confidence with you throughout your day. And now, please join me in an affirmative prayer. I recognize that there is one divine presence, one universal intelligence that is the source of all that exists. It is this intelligence that created me, and it flows through and as all things. In this moment, I know that I am one with this intelligence. And as I know this to be true for me, I know it is also true for each and every one of us, for we are all unique individual expressions of the one divine mind. I know this intelligence as an inner brilliance that is always shining within me. It is the light of divine presence, radiating from me out into the world. I know that we all possess this inner brilliance. It's not limited to any one group, for it is our birthright, the very essence of who we are. As I align myself with this inner brilliance, I am able to access my highest potential and bring my greatest gifts to life. I'm filled with a sense of joy, knowing that I am living in alignment with my true nature and fulfilling the desires of my heart. I turn away from any doubts, fears, or limiting beliefs that could hold me back from fully embodying my inner brilliance. I surrender any sense of lack or limitation, knowing that the universe is abundant and always providing for my highest good. I give thanks for knowing this truth, that my inner brilliance is always ready and available to shine bright and to bring creative intelligence into being. And so I now release these words into the creative medium, knowing that it is already done as I have spoken it. And so it is, and now it is. Amen.
Thanks for tuning in to the Vida Spiritual Connection. Please visit our website to submit a confidential prayer request. While there, sign up for our weekly email and receive the latest information for events, classes, and meetups. Remember to subscribe to Vida's YouTube channel, click like, and click the bell to get notifications. You can also find Vida on Facebook and Instagram. Whoever sows generously also reaps generously. Giving is a spiritual practice. As you bless the world, you are blessed. Your financial contribution to Vida Spiritual Learning Center is an investment in your spiritual education and flow. Your contributions support your spiritual growth and the show, so it's a win-win. Use the link on our website, drop a check in the mail, or Zelle your contribution to 562-928-6460 or to vida@vidaslc.org. Thank you for your generous support. Have a wonderful week and see you next time for the Vida Spiritual Connection.